friends! My name is Antoinette Chanel and welcome back to my channel. So this is actually just a quick one-off video. I didn't do a whole lot of planning for this, hence why I'm not in my usual off-the-shoulder gear. But I want to just put up this response, this sort of prediction that I have for what's happening with Dr. Sophie Shanduka, Prince Harry, and the Sentebale charity. So first and foremost, I just want to say that I don't envy Dr. Shanduka for the uphill battle that she's going to have to fight. I don't have any doubts about the things that she is alleging about the mistreatment, the bullying, the harassment, and then all of the roundabout ways to sort of work to get her ousted from the charity, including withdrawing from the board, which is what the two princes have done, the rest of the board has done, in order to make it appear as though the problem is Dr. Shanduka. But as many of us saw yesterday, there was that big, huge Sunday blow up with her appearing on, I think it was GB News for Great Britain yesterday, on Sunday, where she basically explained all of the treatment that she's had to deal with and the concerns that were raised by her, as well as several other donors and other people who are involved in Sentebale, about how things were being run and about Harry's conduct and how that was negatively impacting the charity. But before I jump into most of the nitty-gritty with that, I just want to kind of go through really quickly and give an overview of Sentebale. Many of these topics that I talk about in pertaining to Harry and Meghan and the royals, I'm learning about them as they sort of come up because they were not things that were on my radar before. I knew that the royal family had charities. I knew that they did charitable work. I had heard the name Sentebale before. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew that it was connected to Africa, and that was pretty much it. Sentebale was sort of brought onto my radar during that staged event where I think it was a polo game and they were giving out trophies and the game was to have been played in honor of Sentebale. And so Dr. Shanduka was on stage with Harry and some of the other polo players, and then Meghan was also on stage directing Dr. Shanduka on where to stand. So that was my first real introduction to Sentebale. I had to go and kind of do some digging and figure some things out. So, Sentebale is a charitable organization co-founded in 2006 by Prince Harry and Prince Siso of Lesotho. The charity's mission is to support vulnerable children and adolescents in Southern Africa, particularly in Lesotho and Botswana, who are affected by HIV/AIDS, poverty, and other challenges. And now I did hear that this charity was set up by the two princes in honor of both of their mothers, which is a really nice homage. I don't know anything about Prince Siso or about his family, but I think that setting up a charity to honor something that meant something to his mother is a nice gesture. And those of us who are old enough to remember when Diana was alive, we know that she was a crusader for treatment and equality amongst people who have HIV/AIDS. She was one of the first people to be photographed and recorded as touching somebody who had HIV/AIDS, which was totally unheard of in the 80s and early 90s. The only other people who I saw doing that were maybe Michael Jackson and then Magic Johnson, because he tested positive for HIV in I think the late 80s. The name Sentebale means forget-me-not in Sesotho, reflecting a commitment to remember and support the children of Lesotho. I was also told that that naming was also to pay homage to the mothers of the two princes. Over the years, Sentebale has focused on several key initiatives, one of which being health and being, so providing psychosocial support and access to youth-friendly health services for young people, especially those living with HIV/AIDS. Also nurturing communities, so collaborating with local and national partners to offer health and social services in safe and supportive environments. Youth advocacy, empowering young people to advocate for improved health, education, and social protection. And education and livelihood, so offering life skills to young people, financial literacy, and vocational training to build resilience and self-confidence. And so, as I mentioned just a little bit ago, Sentebale is currently experiencing some unrest as the entire board of that charity has now withdrawn. They've all stepped down, and they are saying that the reason that they're doing so is because they do not like the chairwoman, Dr. Sophie Shanduka. Dr. Shanduka was awarded an honorary doctorate by Coventry University in 2023. So this is a really big argument that I see people making about her, that, oh, she's not a real doctor, it was an honorary doctorate, which is funny because it seems like we sort of change the rules depending on who has the honorary doctorate. I found that she was born in Zimbabwe and that she's been a corporate finance lawyer with over 20 years of global executive experience. She's held senior roles in strategy, legal, and operations functions at different organizations, including Meta, Morgan Stanley, and Virgin Money. In addition to her corporate roles, she is also the founder and chair of Nandi Life Services, LLC, which is a US-based biotechnology company focused on developing therapeutics for rare cancers and autoimmune diseases. So Dr. Sophie is no spring chicken. She has plenty of experience and experience at some pretty notable companies such as Meta. I didn't know that she was affiliated with them at one time. And she has a lot of legal expertise, which I think might be part of the catalyst for why she's taking this action right now. But I do also want to mention that her extensive career and contributions have been recognized with several accolades, including being named in Management Today's 35 Women Under 35 in 2008, and receiving an MBE, so that's Member of the Order of the British Empire, in 2021 for her services to diversity in business. So this is a woman who has been recognized and awarded, and she's got that MBE, which when I see that usually signifies to me that, okay, this person has very good relations with the royal family and with British people in general. The Sussex PR machine is ruthlessly just awful and annoying. So I don't envy Dr. Shanduka for taking that on. I've already seen it, even under the video that I saw that I think was for Sky News. There were a lot of people who wanted to debate about whether or not her credentials were real, whether she was qualified. There were people saying that she tanked the charity, she was asking for too much money, she turned away donors, etc. One moment of friction that I guess came between Dr. Sophie and the Sussexes was after that polo event that I mentioned just a little bit ago, where they were kind of shuffling around on stage and Meghan's telling Dr. Shanduka where to go stand. After that, I guess Dr. Shanduka was asked to issue a statement in support of Meghan to sort of clear the air and make it seem like the two of them are friends. They get along just fine. And Dr. Shanduka said very pointedly, both in her interview as well as when she was asked, no, I will not do that. That to me was all of the evidence that I needed to know that there's something just not clean in the buttermilk here. Simply because we've seen so many other people roll over and comply with such requests. Even Harry complied with such requests when he and Meghan were first dating, to issue a statement about, oh, I don't want you talking about my girlfriend and her race and her mom and this, that, and the third, even though the royal family never does that for the people that they date. And I really can't blame Dr. Shanduka for not wanting to be involved in the Sussex PR machine, because she knew what would happen later, and she even said this in her interview. She knew that once she did make a statement that was in support of Meghan, then all of a sudden she becomes a pawn for why Meghan is this great, wonderful, infallible being who no one should ever criticize, and she didn't want to do that either. This is the chairwoman of a board of a charity, not some PR maven from the United States. I also don't envy Dr. Shanduka because this is a really rough time to be a Black woman, an unambiguous Black woman who is taking an unpopular view in the public right now. That's a lot of why we don't see Michelle Obama in public life anymore. She said she's stepping back and she's not interested, because we are in an era where it's okay to rip on people in this anti-DEI era that we're going in, at least here in the United States. It's spreading elsewhere, but it's not a good time to be publicly visible as a Black woman just because the PR machine, which is not nice anyway, is particularly mean to us unambiguous Black women. Which is why I am of the belief that Dr. Shanduka must have some very damning evidence to support the claims that she is making. She said on the Sunday News yesterday that Prince Harry had bullied her, harassed her, and that he had discriminated against her. Those are pretty powerful accusations to make, but something tells me that this isn't going to be like the Oprah interview where we hear a bunch of accusations and, there's a lot of finger pointing and very serious claims being leveled, but we never really get any tangible proof. I think that Dr. Shanduka wouldn't have opened her mouth if she didn't have all the proof that she needs. She has all the smoking guns. Sis ain't playing around. Like, this is not gonna be just some little, dinky, like, oh no, never mind, it didn't happen. Like, I think she's got documents. I think she's probably got some recordings. She probably has meeting minutes from when she was meeting with the board that shows evidence of this harassment, discrimination, and bullying that she mentioned. Lastly, I don't envy Dr. Shanduka because even though this fight that she's taking on, if she provides the evidence and we see that there's proof that she's been mistreated, that funds have been mishandled, and that a lot of Sentebale's decline recently has been due to the actions of the Sussexes. Even though those are all good reasons for the cause, it still reflects poorly on the charity that this is happening right now. And in some ways, it reflects negatively on Dr. Shanduka simply because there shouldn't be unrest. Boards of trustees don't want to see that there's unrest and that there's bad PR. They just want to know that everything is running smoothly and on the up and up. And so disturbances like this, disruptions like this that show that things were not moving smoothly, this does have a negative impact on the charity and Dr. Shanduka. Even though the cause is a worthy one, it's still going to reflect negatively in some capacity. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out what happens next. All right, that's all I've got for you. Like I said, this was just a quick video that I came in here to do. But you let me know, what do you think about this whole back and forth between Dr. Shanduka, the Sentebale charity, the princes, what the board of trustees are saying? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you'd like to keep up with me on Instagram, you can follow me at the handle that's on your screen right now. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. And if you want to see more from me, consider hitting the subscribe button so you can see all my videos as soon as they get uploaded. Thank you so much for being here, friends. I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care.